Hello, this is a story that the old ones have been telling to children for hundreds of years. It is a sad tale, but it lives strong in the memories of the people, and there are many who swear that it's true. Long years ago, in a humble little village, there lived a fine-looking girl named Maria. Some say she was the most beautiful girl in the world, and because she was so beautiful, Maria thought she was better than everyone else. As Maria grew older, her beauty increased, and her pride and her beauty grew too. When she was a young woman, she would not even look at the young men from the village. They were very good enough for her. When I marry, Maria would say, I will marry the most handsome man in the world. And then one day into Maria's village rode a man who seemed to be just the one she had been talking about. He was a dashing young ranchero, the son of a wealthy rancher from the southern plains. She could not ride like a Comanche. In fact, if he owned a horse and he cared them, he would give it away and get rope all the horse from the plains. He thought it was meanly to ride the horse if it was half white. He was handsome, and he would play the guitar and sing beautiful. Maria made up her mind that was the man for her. She knew just the tricks to win his attention. If the ranchero spoke when they meant to on the pathway, she would turn her head away. When he came to her house in the evening, played his guitar and staring at her, she wouldn't ever come to the window. She refused all his costly gifts. The good young man fell for the tricks. That holy girl Maria, Maria, he said to himself. I know I came with her heart. I swear I'll marry that girl. And so everything turned out as Maria planned. Before long, she and Ranchero became engaged, and soon they were married. At first, things were fine. They had 2 children, and they seemed to be a happy family together. But after a few years, the ranchero went back to the wildlife of the prairies. He would leave town and be gone for months at a time. And when he returned home, it was only to visit his children. He seemed to care nothing for the beautiful Maria. He even talked of setting Maria aside and marrying a woman of his own wealthy class. As proud as Maria was, of course she became very angry with the ranchero. She also began to feel anger toward her children because he paid attention to them, but just ignored her. One evening, as Maria was strolling with her 2 children and the state pontoon near the river, the ranchero came by in a carriage. An elegant lady sat on the sand beside him. He stopped and spoke to his children, but he didn't even look at Maria. He whipped the horse up on the street. When she saw that, as a terrible rage filled Maria, and it all turned against her children. Although it is said to tell, the story says that in her anger, Maria seized her 2 children and threw them into the river. But as they disappeared down the stream, she realized what she had done. She ran down the back of the river, reaching out her arms to them, but they were long gone. The next morning, a terrible broke word to the villagers that a beautiful woman lay dead on the bank of the river. That is where they found Maria, and they laid her to rest where she had fallen. But the first night Maria was in the grave, the villagers heard the sound of crying down by the river. It was not the wind, it was La Llorona crying, "Where are my children?" And they saw a woman walking up down the bank of the river, dressed in a long white robe, the way they had dressed her, Maria, for burial. On many a dark night they saw her walk the river bank and cry for the children, and so they no longer spoke of her as Maria, they called her La Llorona, the weeping woman, and by the name she is known to this day. Children are warned not to go in the dark, for La Llorona might snatch them and never return them.